Taking into consideration macros or total calories are the same, how could it be defined as a positive or negative response to adopting a higher carb, lower fat diet versus a higher fat, lower carb diet? Would it be possible to see a difference in physical appearance or how the individual looks? Maybe in terms of muscle fullness or vascularity.
Objective way to do this, and this has its limitations, is to test for insulin sensitivity versus insulin resistance. There's various means to do that. The euglycemic or the clamp method is the gold standard, but that's a serious pain in the ass and it's expensive and it's hard to access. So you can always check fasting. That's a subjective way to do it, but it's also a legit way to do it. I mean, I remember Lyle McDonald, one of my mentors, he talked about how just taking a historical note of how you feel after a high carb meal, you feel sleepy and sluggish, then you probably have less of a carb tolerance than somebody who just feels energetic and great on a high carb meal. So that's one way to see if the high carb versus lower carb thing is appropriate. That's a good question.
This guy responded within about 2 or 3 hours.
With higher carbs. You know what? I would find that, here's the thing, the more athletic you are, and the longer your training age, or the higher your training age, the greater your carb tolerance is going to be. So what you want to do is you want to try to push the limits of a maximal amount of carbs that you can consume while still making progress with the goal. So the exact amount that you prescribe, I couldn't say, but it's mainly going to be determined by diet history and trial and error. Those two things. So
Hard question.
yeah, it's unfortunately it's not a sexy answer, but that's the best we've got.
Thank you very much.
All right, man. No problem.
I have another question for one question I had was taking into consideration I'm prepping for the show now, 22 weeks in, using progressive overload, and I'm not losing any strength in the rep. My strength is still increasing. Maybe I'm matching the repetitions 3 weeks in a row, but I might be able to gain another rep. Now I'm 22 weeks, I'm beginning to lose that ability of my head's going to pop just to get that one rep on the power day. So for example, I'm doing a bench press, I'm getting 140 on the power day, warmed up, everything's right, 140, boom, okay. Just getting it. Using progressive overload, taking into consideration the recent study, if I was to drop your weight and hit the same volume over the circuit, so drop it to 120, hit 3 reps, do the maths to make sure you hit the same amount of work, of volume, is that going to, okay, not gain muscle, but preserve the muscle that I've got during the cut?
Well, interesting you ask, man. My colleague Brad Schoenfeld is conducting a study that's comparing 30 rep sets with the lower end, and I believe there could be some mid-range in there as well. But he just mentioned the other day that he said, you know, Alan, I'm impressed. 30 reps, man, it's keeping the hypertrophy there. So, you know, what you're seeing, as long as you're taking those 30 reps to the limit, to taking it to, you know, at least consensual, reasonable failure, then there's a good chance you can preserve the LBM as long as you match the work.
So you're going to effectively lose a bit of strength by not being able to hit that squat.
The strength is going to take a hit. But hypertrophy won't necessarily.
Right, okay, so
But you're prepping for a show. So all you're caring about is you know, cross-sectional area.
So I'm trying to keep the strength, thinking if I keep that one rep to the same, close to the strength as possible, I'm going to keep the same amount of muscle, but you know, maybe I should drop it down and do them 3 reps.
You can drop it down because you can always, I mean, the higher reps are going to,
high rep, low rep together.
I wouldn't sweat the strength loss. It's going to happen anyway.
It hasn't yet, but
It's going to happen.
My guys.
What's your name again? Chris. I'll tell you.
I'll send you an email, maybe we can keep this to my
Yeah, whatever you need, man. As long as it's legal.